Yo, what's going on, guys? Spessy here. I'm on stream, about to play my third game of the season, looking at some Squirtle Shiru. Quite a few changes, actually, to mention about Squirtle. The biggest one being the Sentinel was 5 provisions. Obviously, I didn't use this in a lot of my Shiru decks, but we're going to give it a spin in a Gourd deck still. A lot of the time, this card was like preferred in Devotion decks, which didn't necessarily use Gourd because they like severely limit your proactivity. But, you know, I've just gone for like a 16 unit Gore deck, which is obviously a lot. But I've gone for Mulligan Hell using the Volunteers, which also got buffed. These thinning cards catching lots of buffs. And I've been informed by my wonderful chat that Justice into Volunteers does work. So your Justice will thin out both these Volunteers. So yeah, really, really nice. I decided, because I'm using these Sentinels, I wanted to try them out, and I wanted to try these Volunteers. Let's make the return of All God. Because I loved using All God with Sentinels. The problem was I just didn't enjoy the Sentinels that much. They didn't quite feel worth it for how awkward they were and the fact there were 5 provisions. Now in at 4 though, it seems a little bit rude not to, right? All God having the benefit of being able to do some really cheeky things, particularly hand buffing Sheldon if he's not in your hand. We've got the Agitators to buff Sheldon as well as the Circle of Lives, of course, to get sort of double carryover. But what you can do with All God, you could buff like double Sentinels, you could buff like a Volunteer, you can buff, of course, Gourd for finisher, Sheldon if he's in deck, because that's going to be 4 carryover. But you can also be really, really, really cheeky and buff Shiru, which is really cool. And actually, in a lot of matchups, it could be really, really useful. A lot of the time, you look at All God and say, okay, he's going to be really good if you're going second, but that's not necessarily the case that he's only good going second, because actually if you're going first and you can win the round, you can consistently use this card in round 3 because you're going to be thinning with cards. You're going to be playing cards from your deck with a Neuromancy, with Justice, also your Sentinels and Council. So you could buff Shiro up in some matchups, like against Northern Realm. 7 is such a nice number to have Shiro at. You could, you know, if you're going to a Neuromancy for your Gorge, you could give him a few extra points if you've got last say. Obviously your Justice. So you can do some cool things, particularly, you know, the Sentinel. So as long as you play the 3 units you're going to buff with All God, he still plays for 10 points in round 3. Obviously, ideally, you're going to use him in round 1 for that nice carryover on Sheldon if you don't draw him, because Sheldon's great if you draw him. So, you know, All God helps make that a little bit less bad if you, you know, if you don't draw the Sheldon. We're going to give it a go. I'm just really intrigued to see how these Sentinels feel at 5 provisions. Like, are they decent? I mean, surely they can't be that bad, right? The big downside of using them before was you waste provisions, and also like the 2 damage. A lot of the time, you actually want to use to line Shiru up anyway. But we'll see. We've also got the skirmishers in here, which got buffed. I've ditched the Duncan Guardians, even though they supposedly got buffed. But yeah, we'll see. Shiru in hand, Mulligans are gonna be a nightmare, right? I've got Volunteers, which I'm pretty sure we just want to play exclusively from Justice. But I guess that's not necessarily true, like we could get them out. We've got Agitator for Skags, but we're going first, so we need to, you know, not play too slow here. Probably just going to be looking at TA and Dunker. I'm going to kick the Shiru. I think we can just safely ditch a Volunteer. I don't think we're planning on playing this round 1. And we've got 1 mulligan left. Let's have a look at kicking this Skirmisher, I think. Try and find like our Neuromancy. So we've got double Agitator for Sheldon, but we just need to be very aware that it's going to be very, very slow. We're going to start off with a Dunker TA'd. Now, the big problem with this deck is Agitators are super slow. If Dunker was to get like Heat Waved, we'd feel super sad. So we could also, you know, make an argument not to TA her. But some of these decks last season were certainly running Thunder. I imagine that might still be the case, but they were also running Heatwave. So I think I'm just going to risk getting thundered. Having not played this season, I have no idea what everyone's running. We don't get thundered. That's always nice, right? We just need to be scared of Philippa, but that's obviously not a threat just yet. So don't need to worry about that. We're just going to take a good honest rebuke here. Shut down that engine. We're just looking at sort of getting out of this round. Not being down a card, but hopefully going to catch a few hand buffs on Sheldon off Dunker. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Von Hurst comes in. Unfortunately, a little bit low on, with no Duncan or Guardians, like low on removal. To a certain extent. We could like use Dunker here, plus Circle of Life to shut this down. I think that's a pretty reasonable play, honestly. We want to shut this card down. It's just going to spiral out of control. We're going to buff Sheldon. And I am now going to TA Dunker. If this gets heat waved, it's not really the end of the world. It's a 9-point heat wave, sure. But we can sort of cope with it, right? Opponent's only going to be 2 ahead. So Imke comes down. Are we going to see a spend with the shield here? We're not. So really sort of saying, come on then. You want to thunder me? But I think honestly this is us done. This is definitely a downside of playing Sheldon. Pretty risky at you know, when you're going second. Going first. Definitely a lot worse. But we've got Bomb Heaver. We've got Heat Wave. We should be able to resist the bleed. Let's pass. I don't want to lose on even. I think that's the worst thing we could possibly do. We still got like some decent cards out. Wait. Oh wow. I'm an absolute mug. I completely forgot that was going to happen. Oh, we lost on even. Oh god. No one in chat even warned me. So here's where the mulligans of death come in. Somehow we avoid them. We're gonna keep going. That didn't happen, right? It's fine. I knew that was happening, obviously. And yeah, this is definitely a downside of running agitators and Sheldon, but should have get going. I'm not scrapping a video, man. Come on, it's funny, innit? My 3rd game of Gwent for the season. You've got to you've got to give me some what do you call it? Give me the benefit of the doubt, innit? So we lost on even. Nice. Real good skills here. Lost on even and didn't play my my like 8 carryover. Oops. Oopsies. Not ideal for sure. So Passy comes in. We're going to heave that, of course. One engine down. We do have access to Shiru through Fove here. No sign just yet of All God, which obviously we were wanting All God early days. Would be more ideal. But again, you can see like you're already playing pretty slow with agitators and that. But we've got the thinning with Justice Volunteers. That's going to be pretty nice. Funny start, funny start. These things happen in it. And you could also just play Sentinels early game to thin them out, right? In certain matchups, like if you draw into your Sentinels, it's not the end of the world. You can still just play them as thinning round 1, or you can use them in round 3 for extra points. This play from our opponent sort of gears up towards passing, looking for full carryover. I just need to rebuke this. We don't want this card to get out of control. We just certainly don't want our opponent to get a pass at any point. Doesn't really help that, you know, I passed on even. We've got a nice little circle of life. This does give our opponent the pass already, unfortunately, if they lead her. I'll just go down a card, but I think we've just got to accept that because I'm an absolute muppet, right? My own fault. At least we're getting a big fat Sheldon. Opponent has the pass. They don't want it though. We played both circles, so we could really do with a skirmisher here. We can't just let this go. We've got to kill it. Unfortunately, obviously I wanted to go volunteers, but we're just going to have to go justice for a skirmisher here. So missing out on the thinning, unfortunately. In comes Saul. Obviously, the fact that I've just given my opponent free reign to push this round is quite the stinker, really. I think we just say, like, okay, sure, mate, you can... maybe we just heatwave this now. I think I need to play slow anyway, so I wouldn't anticipate our opponent to pass after this just yet. I'd anticipate them to go a little bit further. If we go down a card, we go down a card, but I sort of just need to get rid of these agitators. In comes the Sea Jackal. You get to pick with Justice. Right, I'm going to risk it again one more time. We don't want to see the pass, and we'll take the Heat Wave. They haven't got full coin carryover, so I wouldn't anticipate the pass coming in just yet. Also, this Caress is looking a little bit sketchy with all these dwarfs, I'll be honest. Maybe tempering is the vibe. But yeah, certainly a stinker to start off the day. It's my first game of the day. In comes Poison. Oh, look at this caress value, mate. Unreal card. So glad I've got this card, I guess. Something like that. I'm kind of okay. I guess I'm not anticipating the pass just yet. In comes a Fish Tech. Probably not got a follow-up Poison in hand. We'll take the Heat Wave. Okay, we can start gearing up and considering a Shiru here. Maybe. I guess we're just taking a Heat Wave still here. Still not enough. Obviously, the fact I lost round 1 on even is the issue in this one. A little bleed comes in. We've kind of just got to give up all our carryover, which is a little bit sad. We could consider Shiruing, but I don't ever think we're really lining enough up. Obviously, like, leader as well, though, is just worth quite a lot of points. So we go council here. We could see volunteers, and then we could just fall leader for our sentinels, maybe. Maybe that's an idea, to just stay in the round and try and keep hold of our skags. But ultimately, I feel like our opponent is going to get the skags out of us anyway. So I feel like we should just play skags now, keep leader. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but, you know, I'd rather keep our leader charges, keep the option of Shiro open. Sheldon just doing bits, mate. Just doing bits. So, unfortunately, the pass does come in. I could have tried to hold on to Sheldon, but as I say, I'm pretty sure it was getting forced out of us. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. But this way we keep our Sentinels. Which, oh, I mean, these mulligans are looking scary. Oh, look at that. Easy, easy, easy. I might have bricked my fove, chat. Oh, God. Okay, so there's a few technical hiccups with the deck early days. Few technical hiccups. We managed to miss a Neuromancy and all God. Oops. Maybe the vibe with these cards is honestly thinning them out if you have like the option in round 1. Certainly not losing on even and bricking your fove. I'll be honest, that's probably not the vibe. Obviously we're going to emote him to assert our dominance. Oh, now he's nervous. So yeah, I think maybe playing Sheldon instead of Fove in the last round was probably a little bit silly. We should have probably played Fove into Council and tried to like thin out our volunteers. That could have been a slightly better idea than what I ended up going for. But yeah, I do think this list is a pretty cool idea, using Sentinels All God. Like, I really liked this card when I was using it. I think it's really cool. Some of the things you can do with Shiro. Obviously buffing your Sentinels, and these volunteers now have a sort of case for themselves. But yeah, maybe you just need to add like an extra nature card, or just be more wary of thinning early, making sure you do it at all costs, right? Opponent making a decision. What will it be? In comes Jacques. The man, the myth, the legend. Well, decision not to spend. I'm going to try and punish that by just, you know, cleaning up Jack here. Let's take care of him. Our council is either showing volunteers. It's definitely showing Sentinels. Obviously, it's definitely showing Shiro, but it's showing either volunteers or this skirm. We hope it shows the volunteers, to be completely honest. That would be the most ideal situation. So I could play board first for still like a decent amount of points, even though we're kind of low on specials, as you saw. We managed to play all of them. Apart from we didn't even go a Neuromancy. So with leader we've got what, 4 removals. So I think let's just play Gordo down here. And then hopefully we just find the volunteers, because it's not looking like Shuri's doing too much just yet. Definitely needs a little bit of jiggling of the deck, but yeah, all good should be pretty cool in this list, I think. A Nero from our opponent comes in. Oh, the heat wave, the devastation. That means my volunteers aren't doing much, innit? Well, that's unfortunate. I wouldn't even find them anyway, so you know, there's that. So we've got 3 removal here. Actually, pretty much bang on perfect, isn't it? Getting the spender, pretty huge. Getting out the sentinels. So despite playing like an absolute muppet, we managed to kill both spenders. There's no shearing necessary. And we still win. Right? 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 Right. Easy. We win. By, what, 2 points? See? Passing on even apparently is the key to success. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, let's look at the deck again. Maybe just make a few alterations. But Sentinels are pretty cool, man. No All God necessary here. Bricked our foe. Put down our Sheldon in round 2. But we got the job done, mate. We got the job done. We're just waiting to see. Oh, goodness. Philippa and our opponent, a little bit salty. Little bit salty. Little bit salty. Very salty. Yeah, look at that 2-point victory. Never in doubt, right? Just perfect plays throughout from your boy. No GG from me. Oh, look at that MMR, mate. Wait, what? Oh, cool, cool. Very nice. So, I mean, for this next game, are we going to go for the same deck? The Skirm felt great there as well, right? For setting up old matey. I mean, let's just give it another go, innit? Just to the people in my lovely Twitch chat, I'm actually recording a YouTube video at the moment. I'll get back to you all after this next game. With deck links and that. Drop Caress. Oh. Yeah, we could put like a Tempering in instead of Caress, but Caress is kind of good in it. Like, it's nice off Fove, it's nice on Dunker as well. More hidden cash. That's a bit unfortunate. What I'm gonna aim not to do is lose on even. Alright? I did say that last time though. Let's see how our Minefield mulligans go. So I definitely don't want a Sentinel. I definitely don't want Gord. I don't massively want a Caress either, to be completely honest. But I don't want Volunteers. So maybe we just stop here, right? There's Volunteers to hit. There's Shiru. There's a Brocklon Sentinel. We've managed to avoid the minefield of mulligans, right? So let's call it a day. We've got the All God, but we need to be careful with not overdoing it, right? We don't have the main man Sheldon, though. But we're probably going to be looking to go like Dunker, Justice, and then like one other card to get out. We're going to do the same thing and not TA her. So, yeah, Justice into Volunteers is quite a little bit of a vibe. Yeah, I think Tempering could definitely be a good idea because we don't have that many Dryads, right? Which is the same reason I didn't want to use Triambor. That's very fair. So, kind of tempting to rebuke this due to the fact that I'm pretty sure it's going to buff itself up to 6 just off this next play I'm going to make. Obviously, I want to play All God round 1 if possible as well, but you know, we can always just like All God Sentinels out. We always want to All God Sheldon while it's not in our deck. We could also go All God onto Volunteers, right, this round if we just wanted to play him for value. Just buffs once. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Does it need to be in the row? No, cool. Just buffs once, cool. Messi Baku Bowman. Messi. So that's a pretty disgracefully good play, isn't it? Like, this is kind of filthy. It's a nice buff to Scoia'tael. 13 points plus 2 thinning. That's outrageously good. Wow. It's outrageously good. And also means you don't have to run Marauders, which I was never a massive fan of. Marauders gave you 11 reach. This card now gives you, what, 13 reach? Pretty crazy. Like, we might even... This might have even been enough tempo for us to do this. And play All God. So, are we going to buff Shiro? We're not. We're going to go Sheldon. We're going to go Sentinel. We're going to go Sentinel, right? We're going for the big fat Sentinel play. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. We'll probably take the pass after this one. Obviously, we'd rather win the round against Syndicate. But, like, we've got the Heaver. We're pretty bleed resistant. And we want to hopefully find Sheldon to use these agitators. We could also just dump an agitator for some, you know, carryover before we pass. But we'll see what our opponent does and we'll react to it accordingly. Definitely mulligans are going to be something to be careful of with this list. Also, we would have used the Neuromancy for Justice to thin these out, I'm pretty sure. But having this much tempo to allow us to play All God is pretty nice. So if we get poisoned, unfortunately we don't. I sound because I've got the Caress ready to go. Honestly, I'm kind of content with just passing her. We're still getting like some more carryover from Dunker. Plus, like, these 8 coins need to be spent this round if my opponent wants to bleed me, because they need quite a lot of points. This is outrageously good, the Cleaver's Master. We made a 4 tempo play and we're still 11 points up here. Of course, the opponent's got coins in the bank, but, like, obviously if they're spending these coins, it means they can't carry them over. And Syndicate wants to push into round 2 with Passiflora. Usually doesn't fancy a long round. Yeah, we could have played an agitator down and gotten away with it for sure. But this way, like, they don't carry over any coins, right? So we lose carryover potentially by not playing an agitator. But at the same time, like, we can just play these agitators on Sheldon because we're going to draw it, right? See? Sheldon already at 8 from the All God. Damn, son. So we're going to kick Gord because we've got a Nero, right? Are we going to kick Gord? I think we're going to kick Gord. I guess we're going to kick the Caress, actually, right? I'm just not going to draw the Sentinels or Shiro. Easy. We'll just stop here. I'll keep Gord because there's quite a lot of good gold cards in our deck that we, you know, might want to win Neuromancy for next round. Like, we're probably going to end up using Heatwave round 1. But yeah, I do love a bit of All God action, I must admit. I must admit. Really, really cool the Sentinels are at 4 provisions. And also this card. I love they've buffed all these thinning cards. Hopefully it just makes decks more consistent. Like, sure, we're going to see these thinning cards more often, but I think that's absolutely good. I think it's absolutely a good thing. Bank would maybe suggest it's Devotion. Has there been any... no other telltale signs whether it is or not? Azar? That's a bit rude, isn't it? We need to get through Azar. Which is easier said than done, to be honest. But we can do it. The question is, I feel like I still have my much question. Are we going to just double leader charge? I mean, we don't need to do it straight away. We can still double leader charge the Heaver. I think it probably is worth the Heaver still, since we've got it. Otherwise, our Heaver's just wasted, right? Use my phone charging. Very unprofessional streamer alert. These leader charges are worth an awful lot, but I think it's just in our interest to Heaver this as soon as we possibly can. And we managed to save our rebukes as well, which is really valuable. So, yeah. Sheldon already looking pretty nice at 10 points. Of course, we've got more to add to the fire. More fuel. We are just going to be rebuking this Slice Seductress, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, Shiro's looking tempting. But it's not actually really an option because these are going to buff up too much. If I had Shiro in hand at 5 right now, it would be fine, right? Kinda. It wouldn't even be because Sentinels will come out. So let's just clean up. Nothing to see here. Get rid of these Slice Seductresses. It's obviously not ideal using leader charges, but that's just sort of unfortunately the nature of Azar. So This side structure is going to buff by point, which means, you know, unfortunately this isn't quite enough. This pays for 5. This is going to buff, so we do probably need to... Is this enough? I guess a Neuromancy is always the vibe, right? We could a Neuromancy something for enough points. Bove into... Sack of Life? Wouldn't be enough, would it? Forest Protector is definitely enough. How many points is this thing worth these days? Worth what? 6? Which wouldn't be enough because it's buff. So I think we've actually got to go Forest Protector here, unfortunately. Which is quite a big commitment, to be completely honest. But hi-ho. Oh, wait. I could have Circle of Life, right? Yeah, never mind. Go. Dwarf's enough, but were you guys considering that this card's going to buff itself? Guys, as you can tell, I'm... My chat's telling me Skirmish was enough, so I'm sure the YouTube comments is going to... This one would have been enough? Oh, of course, because it was... Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I guess. We missed Sherry, thank goodness. Fine, Heatwave. So I should have just played this. Oops. I wanted to use my Neuromancy, but yeah, we waste our Forest Protector. Never mind. It's all good, mate. We've got a big fat Sheldon. Sherry's still to come. It's fine, mate. It's all fine. This is all in the plan, mate. It's all in the plan. Let's get this Sheldon looking nice and thick. Already, of course, had that 4-point carryover from All God. So All God's already played. He played for 4 initially. He played for 4 on Sheldon, and don't forget we've got these surprise Sentinels, which also gives us like really good short round potential as well, right? Yeah, like if you think like this deck, what it's really good at doing is carryover, and you know we're just adding to that potential. This is where Forest Protector would be really good, but you know, never mind. Surprised the opponent decides not to spend when, you know, I've only got 1 leader charge left. It would seem quite a sensible decision to me to have spent there, but never mind. We might not even end up Shiroing, to be completely honest. We could still call Fove in for this skirmisher because we had to use 2 leader charges to get through. We're just going to forget about Saul. Wait. If I put him down to... So I could hit Saul down here, right? We put him down to 4. 3. Oh, with 1 leader charge off. Rip. But Sheldon, on the other hand... Sheldon is going to deal, what, 6 damage right now? Next turn he's going to deal 8. Saul will be at 11. So we're going to do this. Right? And then Sheldon's going to come in, clap Saul down to 3 strength. And then we're going to full leader, get out our Sentinels as well. Oh, it's going to be so good. And then we can Heatwave this, like, Spender in a bit. Wait. Yeah, this worked. Right? Right? Ah! And then the surprise! Look at this All God value, mate. All God coming through. My man's hovering. Now we've got guaranteed Fove. Like, look at this thinning, man. Fove into circle if we want it, or we could Shiro still if like it lines itself up for us. We've got the Heat Wave for this Siege Icon, that's why I didn't ping it down. We get poisoned. Good news, we've got Dryads on the board. So we will take this. Just, obviously, my man might have a Heat Wave or something, but what can you do? Not much. Not much. But yeah, these cards for 4 provisions are just pretty sick, right? And like I always loved this card when I was using it. Again, the thing I just hated about it was the Sentinels because they were just too expensive. But at 4 provisions, like they're just a little bit too good not to use. And I think there's definitely an option of in certain matchups using them in round 1. Like if you know, like for instance against Syndicate, like you want to be using your leader charges. Obviously the fact that Azar came in, it was like quite a rare situation. You very rarely use neither charges, but they were kind of forced out of us. Surprised Calcium wasn't used to, you know, run damage here. Let's take the little skirm. Not that little though, to be honest. 8 points, obviously with that carryover. Could have left that 5, I suppose, but I mean, I don't think we're ever suring here. I think it's always going to be foes, so we should probably take that next. We could just take a skirm, but we might as well take the circle, I think. It's an extra special as well. Maybe should have left something for us to actually deal 3 damage with. In comes Freak Show. That's a wee bit scary, mate. 15 years in the sewers. So I'm going to take the heat wave. Oh, I don't really want to take the heat wave first. Let's just take the foe first, I guess. Obviously, we'd love to be suring, but never mind. I guess we'll hit this. I probably should have taken this before the skirmisher, right? So I actually got full damage off of it, but never mind. 14-point Gorda. Obviously, we've got 20-point Sheldon, so we're already going super tall, so nothing to worry about there. Wait. Oh, God. I was supposed to take the heat wave, wasn't I? Oopsies. Might have just thrown the game, chat. Goodness me. This is why... God, this has been quite the misplaying stream. Guys, I finished 71st in the world, say no more. If I'm 71st in the world, what does that say about you guys? If I finish 71st, yeah, what does that say about you lot? Tell me that. Tell me that, mate. Right? Like, you can all mock me. You can say I'm not very good. But... Come on, I've been at work, guys. Like, I'm not used to this. I've just been a hermit for the last, like, 6 months. All I did was play Gwent. So, you know. We're still going to win, though. This isn't actually getting poisoned. Obviously. Ah! This is just an extended BM. Who needs Shira? Who needs Heatwave? Not me. Right? See? Easy. I'm just... Look how badly I'm throwing! And I'm still winning. Oh my god, this deck's broken. Like, we beat Jolly. Like, oh my god, guys. Guys, if you've not heard of Jolly, like, are you actually a Gwent fan? Pretty sure he's, like, the best in the world, mate. Okay, maybe not. No offense to Jolly, GG. So, there's the deck. We just made it. It seemed pretty cool. I don't really have that much time to play Gwent this week, because I'm back in work. But yeah, like, hope you enjoyed the video. Any ideas? Let me know what you do with it. Shut up, man. My phone's going off. Obviously, like, we bricked the Caress. But it seemed good. It seemed like mulligans are scary, but like this card's kind of good in this deck. To be honest, like it just is. Like worst case is 10 points, right? You play in round 3, you just buff, like you just buff either volunteers or your sentinels, and you can buff Shiru, which is actually really really cool. Like especially against Northern Realms. Like so many times against Northern Realms, you want Shiru at 7, but if you don't find him in your opening hand, you don't get that because you'd have to Circle of Life him and then use counts on him later. Whereas with this list, you know, you just find All God in round 3 and you can buff your Shira up to 7 that way. That's pretty cool. Seemed like a lot of fun. 2 games, 2 wins. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would you change? I can obviously make a list without All God. Same Shira and Skag's deck in new patch. Is it the same? Were we using volunteers before? I don't think we were using All God either. Kind of different, right? Kind of different. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'm going to play a few more decks on stream now. My stream schedule, again, just to remind you, I said it in yesterday's video. Thursdays at 4:30 PM. Fridays at 6 PM. This is BST, which is British Summertime. It's like GMT +1. Saturdays, 8 AM. Sundays, 8 AM. The one difference being, this Friday, I'm not going to be streaming because my brother's going back to university. I'm going to post the stream schedule on Saturday so people aren't like, oh, you switched the schedule and you're already not sticking to it. So it's going to be officially out on Saturday. I'll probably post a video too. Yeah, thanks for watching. Going to play some other decks. Maybe I'll play some like Mobilization. Hyperthere maybe. Probably upload it. So, yeah, nice one. See you later, Cyril. Deuces.